Sup fellas, this is George,
This is Ethan.
and this is Power Ranger Paintball. And today we're going to be diving into the Proto Reflex rail. It's a recent pickup of mine. I've played with it before, shot about half a case to a case through it, so I've gotten the feel for the gun, and I'm just going to basically give you my opinion and what I think about it. Alright, so I bought this used, but this is what it comes in. It'll come with a nice padded case, and this is good if you have the Planet Eclipse gear bag backpack. It fits perfectly into that little slot that's designed for a marker or a laptop. So when you open it up, I have an upgraded, I have my ultralight in here, but you'll have room for two fronts and then your backs here. You open it up, you got your dye slick loop and your Allens. Then you flip it, you can put I put my barrel condom in here, my other back, and the color-coded O-rings, which is something only that the Proto Reflex rail does, but you can look at the color and match it up, so you don't have to be looking for a weird O-ring online. They're already color-coded. So that's a real bonus. And then it's the marker, two Velcro grips to keep it stable. And here's the marker itself, 2013 Proto Reflex rail. It's got the Raging Bear camo, which is considered a fancy camo, so it's an extra $50. I just like it. So let's talk about some of the features here. It's got a Hybrid 3 reg, which is in all the dye NTs. I'm pretty sure it was in the DM12, and then the DM13 they came out with a Hybrid 4, and that's the most recent reg they have. Is Hybrid 4s in the DM14. Then you have their Proto on-off ASA, which is really nice. It's a simple designed ASA, old school. But one thing I don't like about it is this right here. This lever, it's the smallest lever in the world. And the design is you're supposed to push it up to here, and then this little piece right here is supposed to help you push it all the way down. And if you're someone who wears gloves when you play paintball, you're not going to be able to do this, and it takes some getting used to. So definitely, make sure you work that and actually get the feel for how that goes in, because that's going to be something that you're not used to. Has clamping feed neck, which is pretty standard with guns at this price range, but something that's different about it is instead of searching for an Allen to tighten or loosen it, you can just turn it like this. You turn it on your side and it just tightens itself, or it loosens itself. Then they come with the famous eye pipe kits that people sort of like, sort of don't like. I haven't had any problems with them. I think it's a cool design because, like with the Axe, which Ethan just reviewed, if you get a ball break, you are going to have to take apart your whole gun, separate it, and then get to the eyes. Whereas this, you pull it out, you clean it up, you can do this in the pits and still have time to get back out in the field for the next point. So I think it's a great idea by Proto. And also something to be cautious about. If you finish maintenancing your gun and then you want to dry fire it and the barrel's not on, the eye pipe will actually shoot out, because the way it's designed is the barrel and the bolt are what keep it secure. So if you don't have the barrel, it'll actually shoot out, and that scared me, and I'm like, oh no, it's broken. And then I just put my Proto barrel on, and I'm like, oh, it's okay, it's fine. So it comes with dye sticky grips, which are kind of the industry famous grips that everybody loves. Comes with a nice kind of bladed trigger. It's I love it. You can easily walk it. I would say compared to the Axe, it's about 75% of what the Axe is, and as far as easy to walk. So definitely the Axe trigger is nicer because it's magnetic, so it's designed, the magnets actually attract, whereas this you're just hitting off the micro switch, which doesn't have any force to it. So now we are going to take apart the grips and get into the board and everything, and then we'll take apart the bolt and get that done. Alrighty, so before we get into the board and stuff, I forgot, I didn't really go over the barrel. So this is a Proto 2-piece barrel, and if you go on PB Nation, TechPB, somebody asked, is a Proto barrel the same as a dye ultralight barrel? Now, obviously there's people who are very technical and are like, no, it's a Proto barrel. But in all honesty, if you look, obviously you probably can't get this on the camera, but the honing and the precision is nearly identical. You could take an unmarked dye back and an unmarked Proto back, and you couldn't tell the difference. It's just they slapped the Proto name on there, and that's why it's $40 cheaper. So if you're someone who's looking to get in a good barrel for cheap, go with a Proto barrel. If you have the Proto barrel already because you have Auto Reflex rail, don't upgrade to a ultralight. The only upgrade you could really get is a boomstick if you're in a carbon fiber. So also deathly wind if you're in a carbon fiber. So now we're gonna get into the board. So I take out this screw on the right for the left side and this screw on the left for the right side because it has 3 screws, which has gotten annoying in paintball. That no one except for like the ETHA has decided to only do 1 screw and then have like a lever that locks it. So I take this out because it's the same, like it sticks the same, it's just, you know, quicker maintenance. So alright, so we skipped that so you guys don't have to see me taking apart screws because it's like watching paint dry. Something that I did that I think is really helpful is instead of memorizing what each color means when you change, you know, when you flip the ditch switches so you can go into board settings mode, I did a little cheat sheet, and you can take like, you know, just Scotch tape, you can take masking tape and do this, and it covers up the thing that says put the battery from the back, from the top and then in, instead of from the back in like that, because it can mess up your board. So, I mean, I already know that, so I just put this over. It's a really useful trick because how many people carry around a Proto Reflex barrel manual at a tournament? So if you need to change something, at least you know how to do that, and then you're not gonna, you know, get a penalty for overfiring or anything. So it's, you know, it's an old school die gun. It's got the dip switches, which I don't like because, you know, you gotta take apart the grips and everything, and that's a long time. And basically every gun is upgraded to where you can do it with the trigger, and I think die and their old habits, that's just how they are, and they should switch it. But overall, the board, it's fine with me. Some people like to upgrade it. I just, you know, again, PSP, semi-auto, that's really all I need, so that's good. And we'll get into the bolt here. So something that a lot of people do is they like to upgrade to the Billy Wing bolt. It's a $100 upgrade, and they think they need it, and personally, I do not believe that you need this upgrade, because if you're just a rec baller because you're buying a mid-level gun, you're not buying a high-end gun because you can't afford a DM, why would you spend $100 on something that's going to not make that big a difference? And as you can see, I'm struggling a little bit to get out the bolt right now. That's because they have this kind of design flaw where sometimes the bolt will actually stick, and they haven't really fixed it yet, so you just gotta put your finger through the feed neck and it just comes out like this. So they always, this is the engine right here, and then this is where the can is, and then obviously the bolt. So something interesting about this, you have to take off this blue O-ring right here to get this out, to clean it out. So just to show you, you just kind of like grab it with your fingers and push off. So then it comes off, and then this comes through, and inside here, I don't know if you can see that, there's an orange O-ring, and that's very important because paint will get stuck here, and old lube will get stuck there, so you got to take care of this. So then I've already lubed this up recently, so I'm not going to do it. You just put lube on the O-rings here, O-ring inside here, then you put the can back on, and you put this O-ring back on, and you can lube up that O-ring, and you just put it like this, screw it back together, and put it back in. Then you just put your grips back on, and your maintenance is done. And of course, got to put the eye pipe back in. And also something, putting back the eye pipe, you just kind of put your finger in there and then just twist, and eventually it'll go in, and you just push it back and it'll be fine. So then just put your grips back on and your maintenance is over. That's really all you have to do. And you know, if you want to, you can get into the rag. I don't, because I don't see a need to it. I'm not at a tournament where it's life and death whether or not my reg works, and it's a Hyper 3 reg, so it's never going to break down.